So, is the tarot masculine or feminine? Is it just a collection of numbers and diagrams and attributes and all these kind of bits and pieces? It's a bit like some guy's tool shed with all the screws and nails lined up in individual piles. Or is it something that's powerful, sensual, passionate, curvy, luxurious, feminine, life, death, love, pain, suffering, living life in all its glory? For most of us, the tarot is kind of ends up in the more the masculine kind of thing, where it's all sort of like train spotters, really sort of put it to pieces. But the real whole story of the Book of Tarot is to be a complete mixture and joy, exaltation and transformation of everything in our lives. On my book, The Tarot and the Magus, I have a symbol of the rose cross on the cover, and this is this rose cross that appears on every tarot card in the Book of Thoth. Now, what is the importance of having this symbol on every card? There's a Lon Duquette in his book, it's an important book, The Thoth Tarot, spends no less than 20 pages going through the meaning of the rose cross in all its glory detail. He gives symbols as well, basically. Here's some of them. And what he does, he kind of breaks it down into tiny little pieces. And you go away with the impression that, wow, you know everything there is to know about the rose cross. Now, why would you be surprised to think that, well, maybe you haven't been given the whole story? So what I'm going to do is just go through what Crowley actually wrote about the rose cross, the crux ansata. Okay? And the thing is, we have to realise is that even people who are passionate about Aleister Crowley rarely read his writings. Okay? It's a really funny thing. And you wouldn't expect a tarot reader either, would you, to actually go through Aleister Crowley's writings, because there's thousands of pages. Well, that's what I've done. And when you do that, you realise that something incredible, something profound is happening. And I want to go into why that the rose cross appears on the back of every Thoth tarot card. You don't find the answer in this. Okay? For all those 20 pages, Lon doesn't tell you why. Bizarre, isn't it? But let's go through things a bit. So what does actually Lon Duquette say about the ritual of the rose cross? And he quite rightly he says it becomes in the 5=6 grade of Adeptus Minor, and that's the grade where the adepts of the Golden Dawn are required to actually paint and create their own tarot deck. And he defines what the rose and cross is, and this is an actual quote from the Adeptus Minor grade. Another form of the rose and cross, the crux ansata, is shown to represent the force of the 10 Sephiroth in nature, divided into hexad and tetrad. The oval embraces the first 6 Sephiroth, and the tower cross the lower 4, answering to the 4 elements. The complete symbol of the rose cross, which the chief adept carries upon his breast, is then explained to mean the key of the sigils and of rituals, and that it represents the force of the 22 letters in nature as divided into 3, a 7 and a 12. Many and great are its mysteries. And so what Lon does in those 20 pages is he kind of break it all down into those sort of pieces. So he's broken it all down. But have you noticed there, it says another form of the rose and cross, the crux ansata. Okay. There are several versions. And what he actually says at the beginning of this, in the ritual grade of 5=6, it says the key to the vault and the rose and the cross is then explained as resuming within itself the life of nature and the powers hidden in the word Inri, which is Jesus of Nazareth Rex something or other. So INRI is to do with Jesus, and the INRI you can see is broken down into the 4 elements as well. So there's Crowley's. No, it's not Crowley's, is it? There's the Golden Dawn version, which Lon Duquette faithfully explains into 20 pages, and it's a worthy explication of the technical details of what's here. Now, of course, the technical details kill life. You don't get anything the real sense of what this is about. So, and I'll show you how important it is, because on the back of Crowley's book, there's a symbol of the crux ansata with tarot around it. So this is the god Thoth. He's holding the symbol of life. Okay, this is what the crux ansata means. It's a symbol of life, and he's circled it with the 4 letters of the word tarot. Now, where does Crowley sort of take these things further? And he does it in many ways. The first thing you have to know is that there's one of the most influential books is Eliphas Levi's Key of Mystery, which is about the tarot. And in there, Eliphas Levi says the crux ansata of Osiris is a lingam upside down and represents the paternal active force of God, the vertical line extending from the circle, fertilising the passive nature of the horizontal. So upside down, Eliphas Levi gives away the key. It's sex magic. That's what's really happening. Okay, it's more than sex magic, but now we know in the territory we're in. And of course, what is tarot about? Love, life, death, passion, uniting, energy, all these kind of things. So in Crowley's book Magic, he extends something more of what the 5 = 6 Adeptus Minor ritual says by saying the centre of this circle is the centre of the tower of 10 squares, which is in the midst, as shown in the illustration. The tower and the circle work together to make one form of the rosy cross, the uniting of subject and object, which is a great work. It's a great work. It's a great work of spirituality and spiritual development, which is symbolised sometimes as this cross and circle. So again, he's demonstrating that there is more to this than meets the eye. And he says sometimes there's the lingam yoni, the penis and vagina, sometimes there's the ankh or crux ansata, sometimes by the spire and nave of a church or temple, and sometimes there's a marriage feast, mystic marriage, spiritual marriage, chemical nuptials, and 100 other ways. Whatever the form chosen, it is a symbol of the great work. So these tarot cards, the Book of Thoth, the real meaning of the tarot is the great work. So Crowley takes this further. In Magic and Theory and Practice, or Book 4, he says, if the magician is barefoot, it would imply his intention to make intimate contact with his circle. But he may wear sandals, for the ankh is a sandal strap. It is borne by the Egyptian gods to signify their power of going. That is their eternal energy. By shape, the ankh or crux ansata suggests the formula by which this going is effected in actual practice. So it's the gods, their power of going. And of course, divination is the word, the all-encompassing word that we use to describe any kind of finding out of information. Divination means, of course, to become divine. So having that, the crux ansata or the rose cross on the tarot cards, it is a symbol of divination itself, and the symbol of divination is union with the gods. So, moving on to the Book of Thoth itself, it is the Magus where he discusses the ankh, and he says, in this form the Thoth, which is interesting, so Magus is Thoth, the magician. He is seen bearing the phoenix wand, symbolising resurrection through the generative process. In his left hand is the ankh, which represents a sandal strap. That is the means of progress through the worlds, which is the distinguishing mark of Godhead. But by its shape, this ankh, or crux ansata, is actually another form of the rose and cross. So it is the rose cross is a symbol of divination, of uniting with the gods, but is also the means of travel through the worlds and all the universes as well. It's very powerful statements he's making here. Now he also mentions the rose and cross in the in the fortune card as well. And is in relationship to the four elements, which of course non-ducates and the Adeptus Minor ritual talk about the four elements. And he says, these are the four elements summed in a fifth spirit to form the pentagram, and the magical virtue corresponding to its ayah, to go. To go is the token of Godhead, as explains in reference to the sandal strap or rank, the crux ansata, which in its turn is identical with the astrological symbol of Venus comprising the 10 Sephirot. So in answer to the question, which I posed right at the start, is the tarot masculine or feminine? Clearly it's feminine, with the ankh is the symbol of Venus. So in summary, in the appendix of the Book of Thoth, Crowley really gives away what the Rose Cross is about. And he says, the essential characteristic of the Godhead is his faculty of going, the free movements of space and time and all other possible conditions. In the Egyptian hieroglyphic system, this faculty of going was represented by a sandal strap, which represents by its hieroglyphic form the crux ansata, the rose and cross, which in turn gives the formula of love under will, the secret of attainment. It's so there we are. Finally, Crowley brings in the secrets of love under will, which is to do with the rose and the cross. So it's a symbol of sexual union. It's a symbol of the Godhead. It's a symbol of the power of the gods, which the humans can have to become divine, to travel the world, to see the universe, to know everything. And it gives the symbol of the rose cross, gives the diviner the free will to go anywhere in the universe, to find knowledge and help whoever their clients are in their readings. Powerful stuff.